Hello, good people. I'm Kristen. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you're new, I'm glad you stopped by to check it out. I'm happy to have you here too. I'm going to do a little daily message, past, present, and future. Just see what wants to be said, what wants to come out, what needs to be heard, what truth needs to strike you, what insight needs to come in, what are the validations, what do we need to know? Okay. First card out. Work. So the past has been all about work. Working on yourself, working on your self-awareness and your personal growth and your healing. And it can all just begin to pile up. It can all feel like, how much more personal growth work and healing work and coming into wholeness, and when do I begin to see it manifest in my life in the way that I want it to, in the way that I want to move forward with? And perhaps this has been really coming through in your actual work in the world. So the work you've been doing on yourself spiritually, the healing work, has been meant to perhaps propel you into a new place in how you're expressing yourself in your career path. Maybe you want to do something completely different. Maybe it's time for change. Maybe the shift is here. The shift that you've been waiting for, and it feels really uncomfortable. And part of the reason why it feels uncomfortable is because you're not who you used to be. The core of who we are is always there. And perhaps you're more authentically yourself than you have ever been, or at least not have been for a while, because of all the societal stuff, all the pressures, all the ways that we need to be, all the learned self as opposed to our natural self. So the shift is here, and you have been getting down to work. And perhaps there's a need for rest, but yet there feels like there's no time for rest. Second card out, malleable. So in this space of you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, on your personal growth, and that has changed how you want to present yourself in the world and the kind of work that you do in the world. And we can extend that to more than just how we make a living. Perhaps it's just also how you go about your daily life, how you are of service to other people, and learning in your personal growth process and the work you've done on yourself that you need to be of service to yourself before you can be of service to anybody else. You have to clearly define and understand what it is that you need and how you can serve those needs before you can begin to try to help other people or to merge and unite with others in any kind of relationships, whether they be romantic, career-oriented, community-oriented, family, friends. And there's this need to get out of the analytical mind about this is how it's going to be done. Perhaps how it has been done in the past is not what needs to be done currently or in the future. Perhaps there is a space here of weeding out. What do I want to bring with me to the present? What do I want to keep? What do I want to move forward with? What works? What needs to be reactivated in a new way? What needs to be rebranded perhaps in a new way? And what is just old? And no matter how much work we do on it, it's not going to ever be what we want it to be. So can we be malleable? Can we be flexible? Can you be okay with being in the unknown, in the space of infinite possibility, where you can use your imagination to dream about where you want to go next, where it's less about these constant actions of having the scaffold of I do this and then this happens and then I do this and then this happens. I think that there was a time and a place where perhaps that worked in your life, and there may be in the future, but now is a time to promote growth by letting things happen a little bit more naturally. Letting things happen naturally. And perhaps what is happening naturally is a breakdown of the old kind of work. There's this space where we come to a certain chapter in our healing process where again we have changed, and what has worked in the past is no longer working. Sometimes it's almost like it's not like the chapter ends, but the book slams shut abruptly. And in those places, to kind of lean into being more malleable, being more open-minded, not resisting whatever abrupt change that might be very challenging, very chaotic, very disrupting. When things are when you are being disrupted, and in personal growth work, you're putting yourself in a place of disruption, really, because that's how we break things up. That's how we break up the old patterns and the old cycles. By activating sometimes a bit of a disruption, because without that disruption, we won't move, we won't change. And that's when we have to remember to stay flexible, to stay open-minded, to be willing to try something different, to be willing to have a deep understanding, really deep down in our inner knowing that everything is going to be okay, and that we continue to progress and move forward in those little changes that we're making every single day, in those little steps forward that we're taking every single day, with the organic flow of what's happening now, not how we want it to be like it was. Again, it's not about saving something or revamping something old. It's about completely throwing the old thing away, or letting it just completely fall away. So what is abruptly changing in your life that you don't know to what end is this good for me? And perhaps there's no way to be able to grow because there's a lot of green here. There's no way to grow through the cement cracks without completely tearing up the entire cement floor, which is a process to rip up like something like a cement floor. It's a lot of hard work. It's chaotic. It's noisy. It's dirty. It's hard. But it has to come up if you want to plant actual soil there. And surrendering into the future, surrendering into something that you can't quite understand yet. Knowing that you've put yourself on this path through the amount of work that you've done, again, spiritually on yourself, psychologically on yourself, healing work, personal growth work. And that has really given you a kind of clarity and changed your mind, disrupted perhaps what it is you thought that you wanted. And the only way to really get where you want to go is to be in a complete space of surrendering to what is happening without any kind of resistance, no matter how mentally hard it is, physically hard it is. It's time to believe in who you are as your most authentic, raw, and real self, and to know that all that work that you've done on yourself, all this work that you've done in the world, everything that you've created, everything that you feel like is part of your identity or have been defined by, it really isn't you, because you can constantly redefine yourself. You can let go of needing to identify with any kind of work you do in the world or partnership or relationship or anything like that. And at any moment you can surrender to what is being birthed and what is coming forward within you as you have come more into wholeness. And that is what we have for today. If you enjoy the content, please give me a thumbs up. It would be super helpful and I would appreciate it. And if you're curious, if you want to hang out more, I would love to connect with you more. I hope that you will subscribe. And I have all kinds of readings, love, career, general, everything coming up every single day. So I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.